exploration of chronic fatigue. This is carrying on with the series on mind. So making sure, in order to help chronic fatigue, you first need to concentrate on getting your mind in order, because that's your biggest tool to be able to sort of fight this. And we've looked at mindfulness so far, and different practices to help to practice just being aware of your body, being aware of your signs, and just being aware of what's going on with yourself. And a lot of people say that if you employ meditation techniques and mindfulness techniques, then your mental symptoms should start to improve. And actually that's a really big part of having chronic fatigue, is the fact that your mind is like, "Nyeh," and that's what makes you tired. And to a very big extent, I do believe that, but I also know for a fact that there's more to it than that. So as I said in the last video, last year I was really fortunate to spend a very, very good year essentially focused on mindfulness techniques and practices, and I became really very good at it, if I'm honest. And so in February, when my mental symptoms got really, really bad, I knew that this was something more. I knew that I was good at mindfulness and that something else had to be going on for me to feel that bad. So just to give you an idea of what I was experiencing, and I'm not very good at technology. I'm going to try and insert a video here because I was going to start this video diary a long time back, and I was going to have I wanted you to see me at my worst, because I don't know about any other people, but I always look at videos that other people have put and been like, oh, you're trying to sell something, you didn't really go through that. And there is a video of me outside Aldi on one of the days where, I think that was the day where I'd forgotten to put my handbrake on my van. The van had gone for a walk across the car park because I had no mental capacity. There was nothing in there. I'd nearly crashed on the drive, but I knew I had to go to Aldi and get food because I had no one else to do it for me. And walking round the shop was the equivalent of climbing Everest. I couldn't do it. And I was like, at times during that period, a month and a half ago, there were times when I'd accepted death because I thought I just wasn't part of life anymore. My brain felt like it was somewhere else. It felt like my mind was at the back of my head. Me, Lauren, was somewhere back here. And everything in front of it was a fog. And that's why they call it brain fog. But, I mean, I have episodes of brain fog now, but it was nothing like this. And it felt like my head had been put into this bowl of soup. I described it as being put into a bowl of potato broth. So everything was... My ears could hear. There was nothing wrong with my ears, but the sounds getting from my ears to my Lauren part of my brain, in between, it just sounded really muffled, like so it was really frustrating. And in terms of sound, again, it was like I was in potato soup. My eyes were working, and everything that I was seeing, I knew it was clear, but I couldn't really see it. It's like it was there, and it was part of a dream, and as much as I tried to look, everything just seemed further and further away. That's not having a problem with mindfulness. That is something else. That is not mental health. And I knew it was physiological. I knew there was something going on. So I didn't do any research because I couldn't focus on anything. So I remembered that in December I'd started to feel better. And my dad's friend Harry reminded me about this. And he's like, Lauren, why don't you just try doing what you did then? And I was like, oh yeah, okay. Because sorry, ran out of memory. Anyway, so I was trying to think what I did back in December that made me feel better for a little while. And I realised the following. I'd been taking, and I'm not sure if this is like sales, and if it is, I want a little bit of the action because I'm kind of not earning at the moment. But I was taking this. So Floridix, it's got iron and lots and lots of B vitamins, and coincidentally, when in one of my first videos I talked about the fact that I'd been ill a lot whilst I was in my last job, with fatigue symptoms. And one of the ways that I got better for a little while, what I noticed was I'd been taking this, and afterwards, I think I felt really fatigued in June 2016, started taking this, and then by September 2016, I remember having energy and I remember it feeling incredible. And I remember saying to my friend who I was walking with at the time, I was like, I feel like someone's taken a massive weight off my back. I feel like energy and what energy feels like, and it's amazing. So yeah, in December I had been taking that, and I'd also been taking this. So this is a vitamin B12 spray. The difference between this and that is it's just B12, and also you don't swallow it and digest it. It sprays straight into the inside of your cheek, with the idea being that it goes straight into your bloodstream rather than going through the digestion process, which for some people might hinder the uptake of nutrients and vitamins. And so I'd been taking this as well. This is an incredibly high dose, so it's got, I think it's 1,200 times the recommended daily allowance of vitamin B12 in that. So I've been taking this as well. On the 16th of December, I had decided that I was well on the path to recovery, and for some reason, I think it was because I was on holiday and lots of stuff happened with my family, I stopped taking them. And my symptoms started getting gradually worse from then. So, I think it was the first week of March, maybe a little bit before, I decided I was going to start taking this up again. And after about 5 days, my brain fog started clearing. I think by day 5, I went downstairs to my housemate Ben, and I looked at him and I was like, I've come back. Lauren is back. I could feel my brain again, and I was in life. And so I went to my doctor, and I'd had blood tests for B12 before, and that's why I hadn't really thought much about it. And we looked back through our tests because she's a brilliant doctor, and I'm going to put a whole different video. If you're going to get well from this, or at least have better symptoms, you need to get yourself a good doctor, and she is the cream of the crop. Get yourself a good doctor. Anyway, we looked back through my blood test results, and in the past, whenever I'd had this feeling of low energy, my B12 had been quite low. However, now this is where you need to go and check it. Please go and check it if you're having these symptoms, because in Britain, the range that is deemed normal is 200 to 500. I had been deemed low but normal at 195 in October. But that isn't very high, and in some countries they don't use that amount. Some places you need to be at a minimum of 500, and if you're experiencing symptoms of fatigue, then the doctors should be looking at levels of 500, basically. So have a look through your blood test results, and if you've got a number that's less than 200, take this, the spray, because it goes straight into your bloodstream and it's got the quickest impact. So I think, anyway. That's my opinion. It's not scientific, but I really think that by taking a spray high dose vitamin B12, if you are below 200, it's going to massively improve your symptoms. I really, really think it will. And yeah, so when I had a period of really low levels in 2012, my B12 levels were 165. Again, sorry, went again. Anyway, yeah, so I think it was 170 back then. So the doctor deemed it appropriate that I should be put on prescription B12. So I've been given these tablets. So this is cyanocobalamin. It's 50 micrograms. Oh, and just to go back, I've since checked the spray, and actually it's not 1,200 times your recommended daily allowance, it's 1,200 micrograms per dose. This is 50 micrograms. I did start taking these just by themselves, and although my symptoms didn't get as bad as they have been, they did deteriorate a little bit, and I'm not sure if it's because this is digestible, so you have to rely on your digestive system for absorption, and it's got lactose in, and I'm lactose intolerant, which might hinder digestion, Maybe that's why it's not been working, but I've now been taking 2 of these and 2 sprays, and that's helped to maintain my levels. But yeah, it is really about what works for you and why being mindful is very important. Yeah, so I really can't emphasize enough just how much my symptoms have improved just by taking B12. It got to the point 6 weeks ago where I couldn't get out of bed. And I had accepted death because I was deteriorating at such a rate that I thought I was on my way out. I couldn't think. I was a mess. And hopefully at the end of this video I'll put that clip of me in the car park in Lidl after I'd let my van go for a walk without the handbrake, just to give you an idea of my mental state back then, because I was a complete and utter mess. And yeah, I'd accepted death. It had got that bad. Which sounds really... I'm laughing because I can laugh about it now, but if you are going through that, costs $11.99. Just give it a go. It gives you your sanity back. Actually, I don't think it's that much. I think it's... Oh, maybe it is. It's less than 15 quid anyway, for a bit of sanity. Give it a go. Go and check your doctor. Go and get blood tests. Anyway, that's me for now. So that is Mind B12. And I wish you every luck with this. Oh, and one final note to say. I'd read somewhere that B12 had cured one person's symptoms completely. And everyone is different. And one thing I just want you to be aware of is hold these things in hope, but don't expect miracles. Every tiny improvement is an achievement and something to be celebrated, and we can't expect little things to completely cure us, but if it does, amazing. I may have got my hopes up that taking B12 regularly would completely make me back to who I was, and I had a bit of a setback with my mental health when that wasn't the case. So, a word of caution, take everything, every new idea with openness, hope, but also with a level of humility and acceptance. And let's just keep exploring. Okay, so that's me. B12, winner. And next time we'll have a look at magnesium, the other winner. Okay, bye. I kind of want to demonstrate every point of how I'm feeling. I've just been attempting to shop for the past hour. Whenever I need to make a decision, my brain goes blank. Like literally blank. There's nothing there. It feels like, you know, when you spin around really, really, really fast, and then you get a feeling in your head that it's still going. I feel like that, but all of the time, and especially when I was trying to decide whether or not I was going to buy some peanut butter or not. And now I've got to try and keep to a diet, which is fine. But it's something new that I haven't done before. And the decisions to be made from that are like blowing my mind. And I think I'm starting to lose the ability to look after myself. Just really struggled in Lidl. I feel so sick. Nearly crashed on the way here because I kind of spaced out. And just having the energy to even get around the shop. I had to sit for a good 20 minutes to build myself up to going in, and I haven't even been in there 20 minutes. And I'm so exhausted. And I feel so sick. And I think this is just getting worse. But I I had a good day yesterday. Like, neurologically, I could think yesterday, and I think that makes it easier. I couldn't really get out of the house because I was too exhausted and felt too sick, but I could think. Today I'm both, but I needed to have some food. I'd run out of stuff that I could eat and still follow this diet, so this post probably won't be posted today. Um, I need to post an introduction first, and I wanted to do that when I was Lauren, so that you could see the effects of this. Yeah. So if it's not in order, none of it's fake. It's just that I wanted to put it all after I've introduced myself properly. Anyway. I'm gonna try and drive home now and try not to kill anyone. Okay. Whew, bye.